Armada Chapter 1 The Exchange Part 2. The four were beamed into the bridge of Edna's ship. Ashton stood there waiting. Liz, this is Ashton. Edna responded. He's cute. But where are we? We're really dead, are we in heaven? Shut up, Liz, we're in Edna's ship. Maria said. Ellie held her hand and said, we were beamed to this ship hovering in space. See that? That's Earth. Edna, this is your ship? Liz asked. Maria gave it to me as my office. Liz, have you eaten? Maria asked. She looked at Liz and said, Ashton, beam us to the mess hall, please. Maria held Liz's hand and led her to choose the food from the trays. Liz was quiet, so Maria chose for her. They sat down and Liz began to eat. Edna started by saying how she saw Maria, then her meeting with Ellie and how they looked for her. Then Maria told her how Ellie approached her and gave her a job. Ellie then started with their first encounter with the Max and the Armistice. After Liz finished eating, Ellie invited the group to meet her mom and dad. It was evening when they arrived in Planet Los Angeles. Hi Mom, this is my best friend Liz, do you still remember her? Ellie asked. Yes, you were the captain of the water polo team. How can I forget? Elaine said and embraced Liz. Hi Liz, the last time I saw you was 12 years ago. I remember you had this Asian boyfriend. Timmy said. Yes, you remembered that? I married somebody else. Liz said. He married an army officer. Ellie said. He was a lieutenant in the army, but he flew medevac choppers. His chopper was hit and now he's stuck to a wheelchair. Liz said. What's his name? Timmy asked. Tommy Beckett. Wait a minute, his chopper was hit on the right side and he was still able to land the chopper back to base? Yes, how did you know he was hit on the right side? It was me and my friend Andrew lying on the floor of that chopper. Tom, can you tell Andrew and Vicky to beam over here, please? Your husband brought my dad home? Ellie asked. I don't know. Liz answered. Andrew appeared with Vicky and what's this so important thing, buddy? Andrew, remember the chopper that picked us from the field and brought us to the hospital? We were lying on the chopper floor right after they picked us up. Yeah, of course, I even remember the pilot. He told me, don't worry, I'll bring you home. I remember him over me and I read his name print, Beckett, big guy. Then as we were moving we were hit by an RPG on the right side which knocked us out. Ellie's best friend Liz here is his wife. Oh wow, I never got to thank the guy. Where's your husband? Andrew asked. He's at home. The RPG sent small metal pieces into his spine and now he's paralyzed waist down. Actually, it was only one side, but when the doctors tried to operate, both of his feet went bad. That was some flying. He must have been in pain while flying to the hospital. He said he was in terrible pain, but he said you all had to come home. Why don't we all go to your home so we can thank the guy personally? I'm with you, Andrew. Ashton beamed the 4 girls and 2 couples to the side of Liz's house. They went around the back following Liz and went in through the kitchen door. The house looked bright and airy and very clean. Liz saw her husband on his wheelchair on the computer looking for a job. Hi honey, Liz said, going over and giving her husband a kiss. I thought you were in some Aztec temple dig. Who are your friends? Tom, remember the 2 guys you brought to the hospital and you were hit in the spine? Yes, both colonels, one was Rivers and the other was Mann. They were really shot up and bloody dirty. This is Andrew Mann and Timmy Rivers. Tom was obviously surprised. Really? Glad to meet you, sir. We came by to thank you personally. When the RPG hit us I was knocked out and came to only after a few days. I awoke in the hospital and I never got to thank you. He extended his hand for Tom, held it, but not shaking, just a firm grip. Thank you, son, that was some flying you did, and Liz here said the hit paralyzed you and you were in pain all that time you were flying. Timmy held his hand after Andrew. It was my job, sir. Tom, your wife is my daughter's best friend since elementary and I want to thank you for bringing my husband back. Elaine explained and held his hand. Thank you for bringing Andrew home. Vicky said. It was my job. Tom repeated. I see you're looking for a job. Andrew said as he stepped closer to the computer. It's been hard for somebody in a wheelchair to get a job. Tom said. I can give you a job if you will accept it. Timmy said. Daddy, why don't you give them both a job? Ellie said. Maria butted in, and Liz already has a job with me and Edna. Aido. Yes. Edna said. Tom, if you are free today, I can have some of our people look at your condition. I believe we can fix you up. Ellie said. I have 4 hours before I need to pick up the kids from school. I have been to a lot of doctors and specialists, and all of them said it is not possible to get the pieces out of my spine. Ashton, can you please beam us all to General Mann's med hall and tell the doctors? Ellie said. The group found themselves in the med hall just as 4 doctors came in through the door. Liz went behind her husband and pushed him nearer the doctors who were coming in through the door. Dr. Chue greeted them. A good evening. Olive, can you scan him please? Tom was quiet while Liz held his hands. Olive appeared. Doctor, there are 37 small pieces in his spine. Olive showed a hologram of his spine and the pieces lighted up. Dr. Chue talked with his assistants and they each tapped Tom with a pen in several areas of his body. He felt stronger. Olive beam out the pieces now and put them on the pan on that table. Tom did not feel anything and he suddenly was able to wiggle his feet. Honey, I can feel my feet. Tom said. Dr. Chue looked at Tom. I believe you will be able to walk in a week. But you need to be here every day for a week for some shots and therapy. Liz looked at Ellie and cried. Ellie came over and embraced her. Thank you, Elle, thank you very much. No. Ellie said. She looked at Andrew. No, we should be the ones thanking you, Liz. Tom, if you are still interested, the job will wait another week or whenever you're ready. Maria and Edna had tears in their eyes. Edna sighed. It's been a long day. A long good day, Maria. It is a good day, my friend, a very good day. Maria said. She went over to Liz and embraced her tight. Thanks, Maria. Liz said. Edna came over and embraced Liz and Maria. I'm hungry. Tom said. Ellie and the girls looked at each other and smiled. Why don't we go to the mess hall and have something to eat? Ellie invited the group. You all go ahead. I have to bring Vicky to the doctor tomorrow, so she needs to rest right now. Vicky went over to Tom and thanked him again. Olive beamed them home. You kids go ahead, we would retire now. Tom, remember you have to be here every day. Timmy said. Elaine likewise went to Tom and thanked him again. The 4 girls wheeled Tom to the main mess hall. Liz looked at her friends get heaping piles of food. She asked Tom what he liked and he said everything. They talked about the last 12 years of their lives and Tom sat quietly listening to 4 animated women behave and talk like hyperactive high schoolers. After 2 hours he was amazed at the amount of food he ate. It did not occur to him where they were and how they got there. None of the women showed an inkling of being in strange surroundings. This made him feel that he should not bother with his surroundings as well. He felt his left feet move from knee down and this sent a tingle of joy through his body. After an hour, I think I should go back and pick up the kids. Are you guys finished eating? Tom asked. I'm done. Maria said. Edna nodded to Ellie and Liz. Ellie told Olive to bring them back to Tom's house. Olive beamed them in the garage. Let's pick them up together, honey. Liz said as she held Tom's shoulder. The kids would love that. Hey guys, we'll leave the 2 of you. Where do you want to go, Edna, Maria? Ellie asked. Let's just go to the mall. Maria said. Let's get some ice cream. Edna said and Ellie looked at her. She distinctly remembers Edna eating ice cream in the ship. Liz handed them a set of keys. Here, use my other car. Edna got the keys. Let's go. That night Liz told them her story for the last 10 years while Tom was busy with the kids. She went through hard times and now in considerable debt since Tom could not find work and grants became harder to come by ever since the president changed his science directive. Ellie told her the reason why the president changed the directive and that Vicky is now in charge of all off-world science and research. Eliz, my friend, your money worries are over. Edna and I will pay all your debts and you can work with us as partners. Ashton, can you beam over some of the wines we got from France yesterday? Liz saw a box of wines. Maria took 2 bottles out and put them in a small bucket and got some ice from the ice maker and poured ice over the wines. I can give you half my share, Edna said. Maria shouted as she walked from the kitchen, nonsense, Liz gets the same as you got 20%. She can buy things for us. I know she'll make a good buyer. Edna, your personality is more like a CEO, so you're our CEO. I get 20% of what? Liz asked. Of the whole enterprise, dummy. Edna said. What about Ellie? Liz asked. She's not into these things. Maria said. Maria and Edna explained to Liz their enterprise and how the demand is becoming very large and the supply is not getting any bigger. How are we going to get paid? She saw Maria looking for wine glasses. I don't have any wine glasses, she shouted at Maria. Maria got regular glasses and opened a bottle. Maria explained, they pay us with whatever we like to be paid with, like a barter system. Like the ship, I got Edna's ship in exchange for 240-foot containers of ice cream and 90 40-foot containers of brandy. So you could say I got the ship for cheap. Sooner or later we need to have a common payment system and move on from the black market system. I need to study the alien economies so I can propose a proper monetary exchange system. Edna said. I think that's a great idea, Edna. Since the 5 species are already bound by the hops that the Macs make and the telecom infrastructure will be completed by the Norsets, we need a common money to formalize and facilitate exchange. The black market is okay, but we need to bring it out so it could grow. Ellie said. Maria explained, there are several alien species, the Macs, Intkis, Norsets and now the Bofengs. That does not include the smaller ones like the Marinti and so on. We can start with the big 5. We only have to agree and that's it, and this would be the hardest part. Edna said. And not really, the aliens and their leaders and our people agree on almost anything. Agreeing to a common money would be like agreeing to eat ice cream. Agreeing will not be an issue. One big problem, after the exchange has been set up and trade has increased, is that while there may be an increasing demand for Earth goods, we do not have a demand for alien items. It's not like the Earth knows that there are alien merchandise for sale ready and available. Maria said. That's hard to imagine that they can easily agree, as you say. Edna countered. You'd be surprised how we negotiate with them. Ellie said. Look, these hops connect galaxies and they were agreed to on ice cream and brandy at Vicky's house. Now they are building intergalactic telecommunication links between 5 galaxy groups because of a baby and the need to see that baby, Vicky's baby. You would be amazed at how simply they talk about the grandest things. Maria said. Vicky's baby started the telecom project across galaxies? Edna asked. Yes, over ice cream and brandy in one sitting on a table by 4 species. Ellie said. Then she told the story of how Vicky asked Godenon, the head of Norset Science and Technology, and he just said, okay, we'll set one up so Andrew can see his baby born. And they did. Now they are doing it in all the hops. When do you think Earth will be in on this alien world? Liz asked. I told Edna within 3 to 4 years. But that could change drastically, plus or minus. That's the period when we have the most advantage. I would sell all the diamonds slowly and use the money to buy the largest companies that produce what the aliens want. Edna said. You should look at setting up industries off-world, like having the Bofengs produce milk and ice cream. Ellie said. How much do you think are in the warehouse again? Edna asked. Several trillions, I suppose. But the diamonds are easy to come by. She told her again about the targeting TP she wants Ellie to install on her ship. I can have some people install it tomorrow. Ellie said. We get diamond for free? Liz asked. Yeah, pretty much. Maria said. So all I have to do is look for and buy merchandise. Edna would be the boss and you would be running around the galaxies bartering the stuff. Yes, and Ellie gets the bad guys. I wanted to be the buyer, but I guess your personality, Liz, suits the buying job better than mine. Okay, let's all drink to that. They drank and talked until the wee hours of the morning, this time about their kids. Tom was listening on but decided to sleep early. The next day Ashton appeared early and reminded Liz that he should beam her and Tommy to Andrew's ship for his shots. Liz brought her kids along for the ride. Then they went to Edna's ship to meet the two women and to show Tom where she would be working. Edna was busy redecorating the place. She wanted to convert two of the lookout rooms into her and Liz's office. Maria and Edna took her family to eat at the USSB Baker and showed them around. After lunch they toured the party place. A few months later, in November 2059. At Edna's office. I would like to go to the church for the baptism, but I have to do a lot in my new house on planet Los Angeles. Edna told Maria. I'll see you at the party place then. Liz told me she and Tom will just go straight to the party place also. At the party place, Edna has never seen so many people from different worlds in one place for a party. And the view outside was amazing. A movie of Andrew and Vicky with the baby kept flowing around the wall. As it moved around, it revealed the vastness of space. It still amazes her to see 7 different species in one place talking to each other as if they are talking to regular friends. There were science teams composed of 4 species. There were military people from 5 species joking around with humans from several countries. She was also extra excited because she had asked Maria set up a meeting with Roden, Gilkin, Contanel and Godinen so she can pitch the idea up in the air in one shot and see how they would react. Ellie and Liz kept her company, but Tom, who was now walking, was with his boss Timmy. Timmy had asked him to work in the telecommunications expansion being done by the Norsets. So Liz, Edna, how's work going? Ellie asked. Liz answered, there's a lot of work. I have never imagined myself going around in several cities in different countries on Earth all in one day. I have learned to talk basic Chinese, Indian, Spanish, and French all in a month. Will our little enterprise have increased tenfold in 1 month? I have bought several companies on Earth dealing with wines, brandy, ice cream, garments, food items, and some electronics. And I just spent 1/3 of the diamond we sold from cleaning the warehouse. We have set up operations in the boofing planet of Mataruna to grow wines and raise cows for their milk. Edna said. How did the Bofengs accept the cows and grapes? Ellie asked. They loved them. When they tried beef for the first time, they were so delighted they slaughtered half of the herd and sent it all over their planets. Then I had to send more cows and cattle. They also loved the grapes, which were similar to a fruit they have, but they are not as crazy with the grapes as with beef. It turned out my winemakers found out that their favorite fruit is easier to grow and would make better wines and brandy. These items will make the Bofengs closer to the other species. And we can sell these on Earth. Edna answered. That is so amazing. Ellie said. You know what's really going to be amazing, Ellie? Edna asked. What? I plan to plant the idea of a common monetary exchange units to the leaders here in the party so it will facilitate exchange, create a formal monetary exchange system over the black market and upgrade from the barter system we have. I think we talked about that. I'm sure you will get them to agree on that easily. That's what Maria said. Edna, you have always done amazing things ever since I have known you. This will be an easy thing for you. Do you know where I failed miserably? Liz butted in. I know, Ellie's love life. Correct. My brother's friend Ducky would have been your best bet. He's the clown you never will be. All the work I've done, Ellie, to set you up with people, good chosen people, are all for naught. You failed miserably, Edna. Liz said. Yes, I did, and I think I will fail again, so that's it. Maria waved at them and they went to her group, who by now includes Roden, Gilkin, Binaton, and Godinen. Maria introduced the girls again, but they said they know them already. Maria started. Edna here wants to set up a common monetary system for all the species so that the exchange of goods and services would be easier. Edna? The concept is really simple. Right now Max use the IMM to buy dollars so they can buy something from Earth in the black market. Or a human would buy furans to buy something from the int keys. The idea to formalize this black market and create a common currency that we can equate to our home currencies to ease pressures on our individual currencies and spread this pressure out. The formal exchange would be handled by the Max so the information is transparent for everyone and for the planets to centralize the buying and selling of the currencies before they deal at the exchange. The currencies will still be there and they can still be bought and sold. The common currency is also there to buy and sell, but their values would now be determined in a systematic way. So the value settles to a point where all species would agree based on the items they are selling to each other and the amount of currencies they hold. Roden commented. Edna nodded and, correct, but later on the monetary unit itself becomes a commodity and its value among the players settles to a point and changes over time. Godin added, we would need a clearing system to process the claims on the monies among the galaxies. I think the Max would be in the best position to store and process the information. This way all transactions are transparent and the exchange values are real. I think that's an idea we would have to implement going forward with all these galaxies. Remember, the 5 major partners in the sphere may grow with the entry of some species and worlds, some small, some big. Gilkin said. Everybody can still maintain their own monetary systems, but trade-off world because of the sheer number of planets and participants will be valued at the MAC Exchange Center. Edna said. Okay, let us send people from the different players into a committee that will agree on the details. So Edna, you can head this group to come out with the final draft for all the species to approve. Roden said. Good, I have people who can help you do this. Gilkin said. I will have our Minister for Commercial Trade contact you, Edna. Contanel said. So it's a done deal. Roden said. See, Edna, I told you they are easy to talk to. Ellie said. Roden commented, things unfold as they should and sometimes it's earlier or later and it could come from any source like you, Edna. We just must be able to see the writings on the wall. When I started to unite the 3 Inky worlds, this is the same money exchange problem we had to deal with, so we have a fairly good experience in this line of work. Godin added, as an advanced society, our very nature makes us gravitate towards the efficient and weed the wasteful out. The final outcome may be very different from what we understand now, but I am sure it will be better. That is so true. Edna said. As we agree now, it may be the start, but this will set a chain of events that will affect so much of our lives in the future. Well done, Edna. Gilkin said. Well, I haven't done anything. Besides, I think we would be fortunate to set this up in 1 year. Roden countered, it's your passion that will kick-start this thing. That's well done. Don't be surprised if we can get this up in 3 months. Maria held Edna's hand, good show, Edna. I always believe you will do something amazing. I will talk to the Bofengs and Marantais on this and I will have them contact you as well. Gilkin said. Thank you, Ambassador Gilkin. Edna said. Ellie saw Tony and Layla, there's one couple to watch. Ellie waved them over. Roden became nosy, and that's Tony, one of your team members. Are they going to get married or what? I don't know, but Tony is absolutely smitten. Ellie said. She introduced Layla to the group and told them how they met her father. After a few minutes, her father Abaddis came over and Ellie introduced him to the group. Ellie told me you are researching on this material that may be a good source of power. Godin said. Yes, but I am not getting work done. I have to learn the new theories and concepts from the int keys and the Max. Abaddis said. Godin continued, everybody is trying to learn new things and that's true for all species. Why don't I assign a team under you to help you have some work done on the material? Would you accept this, Dr. Abaddis? Yes, I could learn a lot from them and with their help may advance knowledge on how to harness the power this material can give. I would like to invite you and your daughter to our home planet. When can you visit us? Godin asked. We can visit you in a week. Abaddis said. Good, maybe this is the start of something revolutionary. The change in all the galaxies are revolutionary to say the least. All the new technologies to learn, the new worlds to bridge, new friends and relationships. It is unnerving and a real cause of tension among all the species. Roden commented. That's why ice cream and brandy are such welcome recourse. Gilkin said. Coming from an ambassador, a simple wisdom. Ellie said. I realize also that the propensity to agree eases a lot of tension change brings. Edna said. Are you trying to be old and wise, Edna? Maria kidded her. Andrew saw Roden and went over to chat. Hey buddy, this is a big group. We just concluded to create a monetary exchange platform for all species courtesy of Edna here. Roden said. It's about time that you do. You cannot always wait for me to think of these things. They laugh. And Tony here has something important to tell us. Ellie butted in. So you're getting married? Andrew asked, surprised. So that's why you and Layla are always together. Roden added. Tony felt so ashamed. He has not even told Layla that he feels something very special for her, that his subconscious keeps him jittery and mellow at the same time. Well, I was going to update you on the hops. Tony started. I would love to marry Tony, but he may not want to. Andrew turned to Abaddis. Dr. Abaddis, are women in your world always this frank about their feelings? It's normal for women in our world to be frank, but more so with Layla here. I would love to marry you, Layla, if your father would not mind. I would be happy and honored for my daughter to marry a man like you, Tony. Godin exclaimed, so it's settled then, an exchange and a wedding. Congratulations to both of you. The girls laughed. Gosh, Tony, I'm sorry, I was only kidding. Ellie said. Your kidding made me marry the one I love. Thanks. I love you too, Tony. She just casually held Tony's hand and kisses him on the cheeks. That was fast. Congratulations, Tony, Layla. Andrew said. Was it you or me? It's like all of us were thinking of the same thing. Congratulations, Tony, Layla. Roden said. The girls congratulated Tony and Layla as well. I sure wasn't, Tony said. Let's all have a toast for Tony and Layla. Maria said. Edna filled up their glasses with wine while Maria filled others with brandy. I was the moment my daughter saw you. I saw my daughter's face light up and her manners changed. Abaddis said. So let's talk about the wedding. Maria said. We'll have it done here. It seems this place makes us open up and deal with monumental things. Who knows what we will agree on in the wedding? Roden asked. You have my permission. Andrew said. The Atbanans will be invading my country, so let's wait after the war is over. Layla said. Abaddis countered, I really don't know why you should wait. Just do it. I believe your father has a hidden agenda. Godin said. He just wants a grandchild. Father, you are not going to die, not for a few hundred years, so be patient. Tony, didn't you tell me one time when we were in a car that you wanted 10 kids? Ellie asked. I guess I did. On our way to Washington, D.C. But that was 6 years ago. You don't have to be sorry to want 10 kids. Have 20, the universe just grew thousands of times. Roden said. I would. Andrew added. And no you won't, Vicky said as she came over to tell Andrew she wants to leave already. And no I won't. I just told you guys I won't. That's an incredible number to me. Roden and the group just laughed at Andrew. Congratulations, Tony, Layla. Remember, children are gifts we receive from God. We should be happy and thankful and love them equally no matter how many they are. See, Tony, no matter how many they are. Ellie added. I got it. Vicky told them the baby is already acting up and she has to go. Everybody kissed Vicky goodnight. Andrew held Vicky's hand and led Vicky to get the baby and to the teepees. I admire a take-charge kind of lady. Godin said. As she really took charge of the famous General Andrew Mann. Layla said. Andrew just loves her very much. Roden said. I agree, Roden. Tony said. He looked at Layla, who smiled. As Andrew was walking across the party room for the teepees, a couple stopped them. It was the couple from San Francisco doing recruiting of old people. Andrew did not recognize them immediately. My name is Ricky and this is my wife Christy. I was the one you paid $7,000 a month to recruit old people. We just want to thank you for giving this opportunity for us to help old people have new lives. Andrew tried to introduce Vicky and Vicky said she knows them already. I also know how they tried to recruit Olive for the adult entertainment industry. Rick and Christy laughed and so did Andrew. Yes, and I heard you brought in hundreds of thousands already. Congratulations. I am very glad you are doing this. With Maria and now Edna's help we now have 5,200 retirement homes and hospices across the globe where hospitals and families send their old-timers to. We intend to double this in a few months. Now we are recruiting 100,000 a month across the globe and will increase this to 200,000 a month. Ricky said. Christy added, I believe this is my life's passion and the work made Ricky and me very happy. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for doing this. I have to bring Vicky home. See you guys around.